drives that ball. It's belted left field, going back to run shot, and that was a no doubt. And welcome into another Albany Dutchmen 2022 player introduction. I'm joined by a couple pairs of college teammates today from the University of North Florida. We have a returner from the last summer squad in JT Larson, along with his staff mate Scott Griesemer. And from Ohio Dominican, we have Alex Brill alongside David Silva Jr. Guys, thanks for coming on here today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
So let's just start here. Obviously, JT was with this team last summer, but three of you guys are new. So let's start with JT, then we'll go to Scott, and then Alex and David, you guys can take it. But what went into everyone's decision to come up to Albany this summer and play for the Dutchmen in the PGCBL?
For me, first off, obviously last summer was a big success for me. I felt like I got a lot of work in, a lot of reps in, but I also felt like I made a lot of improvements, with Coach Davey on the pitching side, and then one of the assistant coach, Coach Smoke, day in and day out. I felt like I was getting that work in, and they were really helping me progress over the summer. Most summer leagues I've heard are just kind of getting work in, kind of doing your own thing, but I really felt like I got quality instruction at the same time.
I just heard great things from JT and wanted to make a trip up north for once in my life. And hopefully I'm able to learn as much as he did last summer.
Our one assistant coach used to play at Albany. He played there for one summer, and that's how we got in touch with it. And he said it was a really good league, and now we're here, ready to play.
Just thought it'd be some good competition. Obviously, I want to see better pitching and just further my skills and my skill set, just so I can be a better all-around player. So.
Yeah, so obviously we have a couple pairs of collegiate teammates on here, and JT and Scott both pitchers, Alex and David both position players. So I'm going to give you guys a second, hype up your teammate, do whatever in terms of what you've learned from your teammate, and then coming to Albany this summer to play together. I mean, how much does that mean to you guys?
I'm excited to go play with Scott, honestly. It'll be a little different playing with a different group of guys, but still having the same, another player from my school team come playing up this summer. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Scott's a great teammate to have, and always a lot of fun with him.
Yeah, same with JT. I mean, we went to opposing high schools. We're both from Jacksonville, so it's nice to finally be playing with each other rather than against each other. And we're really going to get to know each other and become a lot closer, I feel like, up playing summer ball when it's just us.
I'd say David and I already roomed together, so now I get to play with him over the summer for the next 3 months. So I'll really get to know him a lot better, him and his family. But I'm really excited to play with Dave and everyone else on the team. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, being roommates with Alex, I mean, it's pretty much set in stone. I mean, we already do everything together, so it's going to be definitely a good time out in New York, and I'm ready to get after it. So I'm sure Alex is too.
Yeah, let's get into some individual questions here. We can go in the same order. So JT, we'll start with you. Obviously, you played for this team last summer, 3.24 ERA, 16 2/3 innings, 19 strikeouts. Had yourself a pretty stellar summer and a bullpen that was real strong for the Dutchmen. What did you kind of take away from last summer, and how do you think it went in your eyes?
Yeah, like I said, I feel like I got there at the beginning of the summer, and I felt like I had a good idea of what kind of pitcher I was and stuff, but getting some different insights from Coach Davey and Coach Smoke and stuff like that, I felt like I kind of evolved over the summer. And I would say my last couple outings in the summer, I felt like I was just getting better and better and better. And I improved by every single outing I went out there and pitched.
Yeah, definitely. Now with Scott, next thing I have for you here, your first collegiate outing was February 23rd at the University of Florida. So you threw 1 2/3 hitless innings against them. Tough team there at the Division I level. Just talk about that outing and how your adjustment to college ball has been going for you.
Yeah, that outing was it seemed pure adrenaline because you can remember a lot of it, but there's some parts that can't really remember too much because adrenaline was just pumping. But yeah, that night everything was moving, everything was flowing, and it just felt great to be finally pitching for everything I worked for, especially getting to college and finally throwing for then. And then as a freshman, it's quite the adjustment because I went from being a two-way in high school and in the fall to now just focusing on pitching in the spring. So it's been quite the adjustment, learning how to be just a pitcher rather than doing both.
Which one did you prefer in high school? Were you more of a hitter guy or pitching guy, or how was that for you?
I was definitely more of a hitting and fielding guy. Pitching was just on the side. So now it's quite something different, focusing on it completely.
Yeah. David, let's get into you here. 2021 GMAC Freshman of the Year, quite the resume. .372 average, 14 doubles, 17 stolen bases. You just had yourself a great season last year. What went into that for you? And obviously just a very strong start to your collegiate career.
I think it was just believing in my abilities. Obviously, I know I'm a good player, so I got to bring that swagger to the game. Just go to the field, act like I'm the best player, and just believe that. So I think it's more of a self-talk. I feel like baseball is a very, very mental game, and if you're not on your own side, I think it's not there for you. So I was just all the self-talk, all believing in myself and my abilities, and I think that's what carried over to that great year.
Where do you think you kind of get that from in terms of your mindset towards baseball and the confidence, the self-talk? Do you follow any specific players or a family member, or where does that kind of come from for you?
Obviously, I'm a big I like Baez. I fell in love with Baez and how he played the game right away. Tatis and like Tim Anderson, how they go about the game, I think is awesome. I kind of shadow that. And then obviously my mom being my biggest fan, I feel like she kind of drove me and like pushed me to be better. So I think that kind of gave me that edge.
Yeah, no, I love it. Alex, let's get into your resume here. Obviously, you're another stellar piece of this Ohio Dominican lineup. First team all GMAC last year, fourth in batting average with 321, led the team 9 home runs and 37 RBIs, added 16 doubles to that as well. What goes into that for you? Obviously, another key piece and real solid bat in this Ohio Dominican lineup coming into Albany this summer.
Honestly, I think the biggest thing I'm able to do is like accept failure. I think a lot of guys on our the younger guys on our team don't like progress through that well yet. And I think being able to accept your failures and learn from it will make you a better player. And I think that's my biggest strength. Just whatever happens, wash it and then move on to the next game. Yeah.
So you talk about accepting your failures. Last season, I saw you had quite the hot streak get mixed in there. And obviously in a first team all GMAC year, you really don't have a whole lot of struggles. But I mean, when things are going high for you, how do you, how have you really managed to just keep the bat hot and just keep rolling, really?
Basically, really just like stay true to yourself and do what you normally do. Like I don't change anything up. I'm not going to go get extra swings. I'm not going to take any less or do anything less. I'll still talk with my coaches about the same things. But I don't know. I think it's just stay true to yourself and keep that same mindset and stay humble.
Yeah, I want to wrap this up here. JT, I want you. Obviously, you're the returner from last year's squad. Any advice here for Scott, David, Alex, anyone else that's coming to the team this year? Any advice for any new guys coming up to Albany this summer, or anywhere they should go? Anything you got for them? Go for it. Floor's all yours.
Just be ready to go. We're expecting to win this summer. We're gonna get better, but I know Coach Davey's gonna be ready to go right out of the gate, and we'll have a lot of fun. I know I talked about it like last time, but Lake George is a lot of fun to go up to. We'll make a couple trips up there this summer for sure. It's a lot of fun, but just ready to go. It's gonna be a grind day in and day out for sure, but we'll have a lot of fun at the same time.
Yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. University of North Florida pitchers JT Larson and Scott Griesemer, alongside Ohio Dominican position players David Silva Jr. and Alex Brill. Guys, appreciate you all coming on here.
Yep, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joey.